her hands, she held the only proof that he ever existed. And every day, as the sun began to die, she would come here, to this bench, to this spot, and she would dance. The neighbors talked. The passers-by stared. They saw an old woman, lost to time, moving to a melody only she could hear. Until one evening, a boy saw what no one else bothered to see. Not the dance, but what was in her hand. It was old. It was broken. And it held a secret that had been silent for over 40 years. Her name was Alara, and this was her ritual, a slow waltz under the weeping sky. To everyone in the bustling town of Cedar Brook, she was just the dancing lady, a harmless, perhaps tragic, fixture, a ghost of the park. But Leo, a boy who preferred watching ants build empires to playing video games, saw a pattern, a story waiting to be read. He didn't say anything that first day. He just sat on the far end of the bench, the cold wood seeping through his jeans. He watched her trace the engravings on the little metal box with a thumb so worn it was smooth as stone. The silence between them wasn't awkward. It was heavy. Heavy with something Leo couldn't name. It's gonna rain harder soon. How can you tell? The birds are quiet. And the smell? It's like wet earth and forgotten things. She finally turned her head. Her eyes were the color of a winter sky, clear and endless. You're not like the others. You're not laughing. I wanted to see the music box. A wall went up behind those eyes. A fortress built over decades. She closed her hand around the box. It's broken. My grandpa fixes clocks. He has tiny tools. Maybe he could. No one can fix it. She stood up to leave, her movements stiff. But as she passed Leo, a single, weathered photograph slipped from her coat pocket, fluttering to the damp ground like a fallen leaf. Leo's world stopped. The black and white image was a window to a different universe. Here was Alara, but not Alara. Her face was full of a light so bright it seemed to glow from the paper. And the man holding her looked at her like she was the only star in the sky. Before he could speak, Alara's hand, trembling slightly, came into frame and took the photograph. That was a long time ago. Who is he? Alara looked at the photo, then at the empty space beside her on the path. His name was Samuel, and he promised me a dance to this song. Every day, even if he wasn't here to play it. And there, on the cold grass, with the scent of petrichor rising around them, the fortress door cracked open. Not wide, but enough. She didn't tell him the whole story that day. Just pieces. A summer breeze. A uniform that smelled of starch and hope. A song played on a piano in a crowded room. A gift, given the night before he shipped out. A tiny silver music box that played their song. Leo began to see the world through Alara's window. Her life was a series of silent rooms. The whispers at the grocery store. There's the crazy dancing lady. The children who would dare each other to run past her gate. The profound loneliness that wasn't about being alone, but about being unheard. Her dance in the park wasn't madness. It was a memorial, a daily keeping of a promise. It was the only way to feel close to him, to stir the air in the way he once did. But the music had died years ago, the mainspring snapping one fateful day, leaving her with only the ghost of a melody in her head. Let me tell you about the day the music lived. It was the Cedar Brook Summer Solstice Dance, 1944. The air was thick with jasmine and big band jazz. Alara was shy, a wallflower who believed her world was in books. Samuel was light incarnate, home on his last leave before heading overseas. They're playing our song. We don't have a song. Sure we do. Listen. He took her hand. The band faded into a soft, romantic waltz. It was Stardust. See? Our song. Now, may I have this dance, Miss Alara? In that moment, she wasn't shy. She was flying. He whispered in her ear, his voice a promise against the music. Wherever I am, when I hear this song, I'll be dancing with you. And when I come home, we'll dance to it every single day. Promise. The night he left, under this very oak tree in the park, he pressed the small silver box into her hands. Wind it up. It's us. So you never have to dance alone. He never came home. And the music box, it broke the day the news came. The song died with the hope. All she had left was the dance. Leo became a man on a mission. He described the box to his grandfather, the floral pattern, the tiny wind-up key, the broken spring. His grandfather, a man of few words but infinite patience, listened. He rummaged through drawers of antique parts. A Hopner melody spring, late 1930s, might work. But Leo, you can't fix someone's heart with a tool. I'm not fixing her heart. I'm fixing the song. One afternoon, armed with his grandfather's tiny screwdriver set and a replacement spring, Leo went to the park. Alara was there, but she wasn't dancing. She was just sitting, staring at the silent box. Leo sat beside her, placed the toolkit between them. I won't take it. We fix it here, together. Alara looked from the tools to Leo's determined, kind face. Slowly, she placed the music box in his open palm. With excruciating care, Leo pried open the tiny back plate. Inside was a miniature world of rust and memory. His small fingers, guided by his grandfather's instructions, worked delicately. Alara watched, her breath held. The old spring was removed, the new one carefully fitted. The moment stretched. Finally, Leo closed the plate. He looked at Alara, and with a solemn reverence, turned the tiny key. Once, twice. The sound was like a crack in the universe. Alara's hands flew to her mouth. A sound she hadn't heard in over 40 years. A sound she thought lived only in the decaying mansion of her memory, was now trembling in the air between them. It was real. It was alive. Her eyes filled, not with sadness, but with a shock of pure, undiluted recognition. The music box plays. Alara stands. She holds out her hand, not to the empty space, but to Leo. Would you help an old lady remember the steps? Leo took her hand. And there, in the fading twilight, with the music box singing its R, Leo didn't fix the past. He couldn't bring Samuel back. But he did something perhaps more powerful. He proved to Alara that her love, her memory, her promise was not invisible. He gave the silence a voice. And in doing so, he taught an entire town a simple lesson. Sometimes, the greatest act of human kindness is not to look away from someone else's strange, beautiful pain, but to take a step closer and ask to hear the music. Be kind, listen, and never underestimate the power of a curious heart.